Hey, what's up, Next Level crew? Welcome back to another episode of What's Your Next. And today we've got a very, very interesting topic, and that is territories. And we get this question all the time: how do territories work in franchising? And the questions normally are, am I guaranteed exclusivity in that territory? What if somebody else opens up right next to me?
Welcome to What's Your Next. This is the go-to podcast for aspiring business owners who want to get to the next level, escape the rat race, and give their middle finger to the corporate 9-to-5. If you want financial freedom, work-life balance, and the business of your dreams, you're in the right place. Dave and Stacy Riska, husband-wife franchising duo, openly share their successes, failures, and lessons learned in franchising, business ownership, and working with your spouse.
Today we're going to break that down for you. No jargon, no hype, just straight talk about what you need to know before you invest in a franchise. So let's start off with, Stacy, what does territory actually mean in franchising?
Yeah, territory. It's a word we kind of spew out when we're talking to candidates, and they may not really fully understand what that means. And we're going to dive deep on the topic today. But in general, territory is an area that you would serve customers, clients, the area that you're going to serve. And there's many different ways that can be broken down. But it's basically your exclusive area. You own it. Nobody can come in and take it away from you. But there's also protected. There's open. So there's a lot of things that we have to dive into to understand more about it. Where you'll get the real answers to what territory means to you in your particular franchise is in the document called the FDD, the Franchise Disclosure Document, in Item 12.
Item 12, dig deep into that.
Yeah.
It's good late night reading.
Right.
So what's the difference between a protected territory and an open territory model?
Yeah, two very different kind of models as related to territory. So in protected, it's kind of like it sounds. You are protected. You are the only operator in your area, which means no other franchisee can come in and open right next to you, or they don't have the rights to anybody in your area. Whereas in open, we can relate to this because in our franchise concept, our Hawaiian coffee smoothie franchise, it was an open territory, which meant that we could go anywhere. And it was actually one of the reasons that we decided to move forward with it, because at the time we were living in Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C., but we knew that maybe one day might move to Florida or somewhere else. This way, it allowed us to take our business with us. So that's more open. You can go anywhere.
Right, but we're still in Maryland.
For now, as of this recording.
All right, so I'm a candidate. How could a candidate who's somebody evaluating a franchise tell if a area might be oversaturated, the territories are oversaturated?
Yeah, we hear this a lot. Candidates will come to us and say, oh, there's so many other types of these businesses in my area. Well, let me play devil's advocate with you. On every street corner in your area, there's probably something that begins with an M. McDonald's. What's always next to a McDonald's, Dave?
Burger King.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Why does Burger King go next to a McDonald's?
Because they know they can pick up business from McDonald's.
Right. It means there's demand.
Lots of demand. Right?
Competition is actually good. It means there's demand. So what you want to look at is the broader scope of things. And the franchise can actually help you with this. They have a lot of data to support it. They know the areas that might have hot demand. And actually, they have come back to us many times when we've put in a territory check to kind of say, you know what, that's not a good area for our brand. And they'll tell the candidates that to no longer pursue their concept.
Right. So this next question is really, really important when it comes to territories, and that is, how do franchisors decide how they allocate their territories?
Right. This is where we go a little bit deeper, because now you know, okay, in territories there's protected and there's open, but how is the franchisor deciding what constitutes a territory? And they each do it a little bit different. So this is why you want to look at item 12. But many of them will base it on population. So they may say you have a territory of 75,000 households. Some may do it based on income. We give you a territory of 100,000 households with income 65,000 or higher. Some of them do a combination of that. Some of them do it by zip code. And so there's multiple ways that a franchise can define their territory. And they have intricate mapping tools that go, it's incredible. Many times they'll bring you on a call when you get to the point of looking at your territory, and they'll pull up this map, and sometimes together you can dive deep and pick your territory, because you may know very much about an area because you've lived there for a long period of time, or know that it's an area you want to grow and develop. And then the franchisor has the tools and the demographics to either support or invalidate that it might be a good territory.
Absolutely. And there's intricacies in that as well, particularly with open territories. Again, what goes along with that is I'm going to put in a plug for us here. We don't do that often, but one of the reasons that you might want to work with a franchise consultant like Stacy and myself is that when you're out there evaluating franchises, you don't know whether they have your territories open or available. We vet that for you. You could go to 10 different franchises, spend all that time to find out that no territories are available. We can find that out right within seconds, from our system. So one of the reasons that, we encourage people when they're evaluating franchises to work with someone like us is that not only are we matching you to a franchise that makes sense based on what your needs, your desires, your income, and so on and so forth, but also what's available. I mean, you could spend a lot of time and get nowhere. So that's our plug. All right. Finally, Stacy, when you are working with a franchise, can you expand or buy additional territories, or are you kind of stuck in just the territory you purchased in the beginning?
Right. When you're starting out and you're looking at franchise concepts, you want to understand what territories are open or available. And we always encourage our candidates to take as many territories up front. Put your stake in the sand, knowing that you want to grow and develop. It doesn't mean that you have to do it on day one out of the gate. The idea, and for example, we had a candidate who invested into a home services company and invested in 3 territories out of the gate because he knew that he wanted to grow and expand, and he didn't want somebody coming in and taking the territory maybe a year or 2 down the road. So the idea is you're putting your stake in the sand, it's yours, and all you're doing is paying the franchise fee for the territory. That allows you to own it. What you're going to do is build your initial one. Prove that it's a proven system. From there, it's actually easy to grow and scale. You have the economies of scale. You usually have the equipment, the staffing. You can very quickly expand into territory 2 and 3. This way, it allows you to do it up front with a multi-territory agreement.
Right, absolutely. And make sure you watch our previous video on multi-unit franchises. It goes in depth into exactly what Stacy was saying with economies of scale and why it makes sense sometimes to purchase your territories up front, even though you may not necessarily start in all of them right out of the gate. Mm-hmm. So again, really important topic here is territories, and what are territories? What are the different types of territories? How do they allocate the territories? And most importantly, what's available. Mm-hmm. So we hope you've enjoyed this content. If you have, we would appreciate if you would like and subscribe. Click the buttons below. It really helps us in the Google algorithms. And we hope you'll catch us on the next episode of What's Your Next?